Testing, 1, 2. And Hutch, you go ahead and say something.
Hello. Because they were telling me I was too quiet before, so I went too far. I actually turned mine down, though.
Okay. All right, ready to go?
Yep.
Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Wayne Dupree Show. I'm your host, Wayne Dupree, here on another great night in the neighborhood. You know, I just got finished watching this naked chicken taco. Now, I know these fast food restaurants out here are trying to put out anything and everything for y'all to drive up and test it out and like it or not like it. But you ever just watch something on YouTube and it just happens to be food and your mouth start watering? I mean, like uncontrollably. I was like, good Lord, man. This looks like it could be a hit. So we might have to try that on the show. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm bringing out my co-host, the man with the most, the godfather of war radio, Mr. Hutch Bailey. What's up, Hutch?
Good evening, Mr. Dupree. Good evening to everyone. And, you know, they ought to put the cameraman for Red Lobster in jail because you watch that commercial and it looks succulent.
Yeah, it does, don't it?
And then you go to Red Lobster, it's like, what's that?
Yeah. It's like, hey, where's the chef that made that commercial, man? What's this?
Where's that little drop of butter coming off the side? That shell's not red the way it's supposed to be.
I don't even go to McDonald's no more because the stuff don't look like the stuff you see on TV.
Yeah, they're the same way. I'll tell you what, though, they got like a multimedia show in there.
I know, man.
Where their menu is. Mm-hmm. You go in there, it's like, wow. They don't have any of that in here.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. RSBN.TV, Spreaker.com, WCCD AM out of the greater Cleveland area, AM 1000, KTruth.com. And let us not forget, because we made a grand appearance on CRN Digital Talk 1 last night. Sounded
Hashtag
good.
CRN.
Hashtag CRN Talk.
Yeah, there it is.
And it was...
It's both. And then it's CRNTalk.com.
Okay, all right.
I think so.
Anyway. It was good, man. It was good. I mean,
they helped us out through some tweets out there and some Facebook love.
Yeah. They did us right. They did us right. So we're looking forward to doing it again tonight. If you missed the show, or if you are... And this is for the future. If you missed a show, you can always listen to us on CRN Talk at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8 p.m. Pacific Time. That's when we broadcast live nationwide.
Channel 1.
Channel 1. Did I say hello to my Spreaker audience? Did I? I think I did. Hello, Spreaker audience. How are you?
You can always say it again. We love that Spreaker audience. That's where it started.
I'm going to say it again. Hello, Spreaker audience. How are you? We have a special evening for you planned. We planned a special evening for you anyway. I am online buddies, friends, family member with Miss Beth Chapman. And I remember watching Dog the Bounty Hunter and Beth. I remember watching them take down people and go after people and stuff. So when I saw her follow me on Twitter one day, I followed her back quickly, but I didn't say nothing because I was like, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. This Dog the Bounty Hunter's wife, Beth, and I've been watching her for a long time, and she's following me because of the stuff that I was saying on Twitter. And the radio show. So this week, a couple days ago, how we tell people, get out there, start reaching out, start putting yourself out there and make yourself known. Well, I did that with Beth the other day, and she responded, and I don't know whether I can say I was surprised, but I was smiling from ear to ear. I was smiling from ear to ear. You should have seen what happened when I told Joe of RSBN. Oh man, they love the Bounty Hunter and Beth. They really love Beth. Bridget, Joe's wife, really loves Beth. So we're going to bring them on in just a few minutes. They're out in Hawaii. They're on Hawaii time, and I used to, I spent 4 years living in Hawaii. That's something you'll never do, but because you know why you won't spend 4 years, Hutch, in Hawaii?
Because I retired from the military already.
No.
Why?
Because you don't buy Spreaker listens.
That was smooth, Mr. Dupree.
You like that? You like that, huh?
That was very smooth. Just a little inside.
You don't buy Spreaker listens. That's why. Okay, so and when you hear us, just laugh with us because it's an inside joke. So, don't.
It don't mean nothing.
It don't mean a thing. It don't mean a thing. But no, one major thing about the Chapmans is they were not afraid to show their faith on TV. They used to pray a lot. You remember that?
Yeah.
They used to pray before they took down those runaways.
With that M1A1 mace. Looked like he was carrying a fire extinguisher around.
Man, I'm telling you.
That stuff shot about 50 feet.
Man, I'm telling you, when I saw him dressed up with that like pop, when he had all that stuff on, and I was like, man, I ain't running from nobody. As a matter of fact, I'm going to him. Hey, Mr. Dog, you looking for me? So my cousin told me that you were looking for me, and I watch your show, man. I watch your show, and I know how y'all take people down. So
let's just go to jail.
Yeah, I mean, come on, man. Pray for me right now and take me on home. Take me on home. But no, I'm happy. I'm happy that Beth said that she would come on, and today is Mr. Chapman's birthday. So that's a good one. It's his birthday, and he's on the Wayne Dupree show. Or he will be on the Wayne Dupree show. Say, Hutch, say shaka.
Shaka.
Say shaka, bruh.
Shaka, bruh.
That's hang loose in Hawaii.
Chill,
that's
bruh.
Basically, but don't say chill. Don't say chill. Say shaka, bruh.
Shaka, bruh.
There you go. And he's gonna know exactly what you mean when you.
I thought I was Barack Obama doing that. Shaka, bruh.
Yeah.
Shaka, bruh.
Ladies and gentlemen, the left is acting a fool again. Nancy Pelosi called Steve Bannon a white supremacist.
When have you heard anybody use those words up until Trump got on the scene?
Hutch, I mean, usually the white liberals ask the black congressional caucus to do that.
And they're not even messing with that.
I mean, come on.
I think you're seeing the whole Democrat machine, which is so much smaller than it was 12 years ago, or rather 8 years ago. I think you're seeing them self-destruct. I mean, all this behavior, Tim Kaine told people to get out in the street and fight.
What is wrong? You know what?
I mean,
he needs to be committed. He needs to be committed. Tim Kaine, I'm talking. I mean, he already looks like the Joker when he smiles. There's just something legally wrong within his head.
He's starting to look like a drunk Joker.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. He just looks like he needs some type of mental watch, a watchdog or something, man. But for them to come out, she said it right in like on national TV and during a press conference, she called a member of Donald Trump's cabinet a white supremacist.
A former Navy officer. I mean, this is something that the things that you're hearing them say, that they had, and it's not just the politicians, the comedian, that Silverman, she said that the army should take Trump out in a coup.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never heard anything like this at all, ever.
Amy Schumer was telling everybody to rise up, rise up. I mean, look, I know the left is crazy, honestly, I believe that they're trying to start a fight, a major fight. I think that
I know they are.
I think that they really want to piss us off, Hutch.
Well, the thing that happened in Berkeley. Now, I heard, and I was all about what Trump tweeted and everything until I heard a guy explain it. And he said that the college Republicans got with the administration and negotiated to have a talk there, have Milo out there.
Right.
And then the administration also provided a safe area for the college students to protest, which they were doing, peacefully. And then 150 dudes in black suits showed up.
Yeah.
That's Soros's guys, man. Those are terrorists. They gave that, and I don't like Berkeley. Don't get me wrong when I say this, but they gave that school a bad name they didn't deserve.
Right.
They came in there and started breaking windows and beating people, setting fires. I mean, what college students do you know in this day and age in their skinny jeans are going to turn over a police generator and light it on fire? They're not out there.
And notice, they were wearing black, right? They were wearing black.
All black.
And they had their mouth covered up with black. That's the same
people that were in D.C.
Same people that were in D.C., exactly.
Same people that were in Ferguson. Same people that were in Charlotte.
Same ones.
These are soldiers. They're terrorists. They ought to start shooting is what they ought to do.
It's almost like one of those very terrorist militias. And, I mean, if they're traveling by bus, then it should be easy to track them down on the highway.
It should be easy to identify them just by the manifests.
Yeah.
Either aircraft or whatever. I mean, there was 150 of them. They don't all live in Berkeley.
I don't think so either.
I don't know what kind of transportation they're using, but they need to start. Somebody needs to get an eye on this and get a handle on this.
And I'm telling you right now, some people, again, you might not agree with me when I say this, but these people need to be shot. They need to be shot. At
least some pain.
Maim them, man.
Maybe we can escalate.
We got sharpshooters.
Bring the horses out. Bring the water cannon out.
Look, because they don't want to hear nothing else. These people, they don't want to sit down and talk to you.
No, they're being paid to do this.
They don't want to sit down and talk to you.
They don't even know who Milo is.
No. And once again, there are some of us that think, well, but and granted, some of them probably don't want to hear Milo speak.
Which is fine. I don't want to hear them speak either, but I'm not going to break stuff.
But these people right now, they want to do this every time they get a chance. Every time they are watching. They are watching for the next miscue so they can show up. Again, they showed up for the DC thing. They showed up for Milo's thing. They showed up for the inaugural.
Yeah.
So I mean, look, they know what they're doing.
Absolutely.
They know what
they have equipment, man. They got like masks and everything else. I mean, they need to identify these people and they need to trace it back to their boss, and they need to start a RICO court case. I mean, it's out of control. I saw something today. About the Neil Gorsuch situation. It was a printed card, a printed sign, like for a protest, and it was printed, "Stop." And then it had a line, and it was penciled in, Gorsuch. They were going to stop whoever it was.
Exactly.
They were ready, man. It didn't matter who it was.
These signs are pre-printed. I'm telling you, they will show up anywhere. And they are going to be not armed to the T, but they're going to be somewhat armed to cause problems.
Not yet. I'll bet you they got a place with some rifles, though. I bet they have arms. They don't have them out in the street yet.
What gets me is that they're targeting Starbucks, which is funny.
Twice.
They're targeting Starbucks. I mean,
D.C. and out in Berkeley.
That should show you that they don't care. They don't care what they're protesting. They just want to be out. Look, they should be out there. They should be out trying to get a job. Or in school learning. No, they find it real fun to go out and protest. Go out and slam stuff and break stuff up and everything like that. Let me see if I can call them right now. I got their number, so Calling on the bat phone is what we're doing right now, ladies and gentlemen.
So yeah, all this stuff going on.
Okay, there we go. I think so. Beth?
Hello?
Beth.
Yes?
How you doing, darling? How's everything?
I'm very well, and yourself?
Ladies and gentlemen, I am bringing my sister on to the line right now. I'm so happy to have her with me here on the Wayne Dupree Show. I'm talking about Miss Beth Chapman. And her better half is having a birthday today. So I hope I'm
Hi.
not. Dog.
Hi, brother. We're putting it on speaker so we can share. Are we going to share, or is it? Oh, it's live. How are you?
Dude, I love you, man. You look, and I told your wife, Beth, I was like, listen, I spent 4 years out in Hawaii in the late 80s, but I remember your episodes in the 90s, man. I remember those episodes of you taking people down and praying right. For them too. It's like, look, I'm going to take you down, but Heavenly Father, thank you for bringing us together.
Well, you have to. No, you're that guy. You're responsible for his body and his soul, because you got those few seconds with the guy, and I think God would expect you, no matter what religion is, to give him a shot.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Ladies
now we're still filming, brother. Listen. You're watching them shows in the 90s. What the heck? What you doing, brother? I got to send you some shows.
Exactly. Ladies and gentlemen, again, I'm so happy to have Dwayne, the dog, the bounty hunter Chapman, along with his beautiful wife, Beth. Beth, you still with me right now?
I'm here.
I was telling the group, I was like, listen, when she followed me on Twitter, I did not know how to respond because I had been watching y'all for so long. When she followed me, I was like, okay, all right. She followed me.
That's
and
getting you.
I was like, oh, wow. Wait, hold on now. I know that they ain't going to knock on my door because I ain't been doing nothing. But no, I'm kidding. I was like, I don't know what to say. I mean, and I watched because I've noticed that y'all have become a whole lot more political watching how things are happening in the nation, and you're taking more of an interest. And you know what? Before I even go farther, let me introduce my co-host, Mr. Hutch Bailey Jr. Hutch.
Oh, good evening to the Chapman family. I appreciate you guys coming on the program. I'm Hutch Bailey Jr. Good evening.
Hey, Hutch. How you doing,
He's
brother?
like, hi, Hutch. He's like, let's talk political, but let me introduce you to my shotgun.
Let's talk about shotgun, dog. Dog, I gotta ask you. You had the baddest can of mace I ever saw in my life. I mean, that thing looked like you were carrying a fire extinguisher around.
Sometimes it takes that, brother.
What was the range on that thing? You could have probably sprayed some 30 feet. I'm telling you, that sticks out in my mind.
Now,
I'm glad you guys.
2000s, in early 2000s, it worked, but it doesn't. After about 2010, it stopped working because of the mixture of the chemical drug inside their body. I think they got,
they were empowered by it.
Yeah, that doesn't stop them now. That's almost obsolete.
Hey, Beth, Joe Seals and his wife Bridget. Bridget loves you to death. She does. She loves you to death. They are in Alabama, and they are listening to the show. So they are the owner of the Right Side Broadcasting Network. Can you just say something to Beth? Say something to Bridget real quick.
Well, hello, Miss Bridget. How are you?
I told him.
We have an office.
We are so glad to be on this radio show tonight.
Well, I know this. We are very happy to have you on. And again, going back to what you are seeing, dog, you're watching the Obama leave, you're watching Trump come in, you're watching all these crazies where all these masks and where all these material outfits, and they're going out here and they're trying to create anarchy and problems. What do you think about that?
Well, there's a lot of things that number one, we're all Americans, okay? Whether we're Democrats, Republicans, whatever. It is a kind of a beef right now. I've been alive many, many years, and I've seen it worse. I've seen it worse, but people are just upset, and that's Americans. We're going to scream when we're upset. But there's a lot of things we don't know. I was at the inauguration, and I've got some high mucka friends in the government. And just as President Trump was winning, Al Qaeda, ISIS, all those guys put out different orders and said, "Get them." And we of course America, the higher ups can't tell us that. It'll cause a panic. And they said, "Whatever you got to do to get them, get them." So immediately, Trump went into action and started shutting things down because the idea that he won and he's not been ISIS friendly, they know their time is up.
Right.
So as far as that part goes, I feel very sorry. I'm half Native American, that people come to people's land and steal it. But I think that God is in control of America, and that's the end. I just wonder which of the candidates would have taken "In God We Trust" off the money or off of different places. And I think in my heart it would not have been President Trump.
Right.
No, I think we dodged a real bullet. I don't think that any of the other Republican candidates could have beat Hillary with her crooked ways. I think that it took a phenomenon like Donald Trump. And when you look at his station in life, for somebody like that to take on all this additional madness that he had to do where he didn't have to do it, I mean, that says a lot about the guy. I want to ask you something, Dog. You were involved in something in Idaho last year. There was an unfortunate incident where somebody was killed, and there was bounty hunters involved, if that's not the right term, but and they came up with these draconian rules in Idaho that they were going to place on bounty hunters, and you were instrumental in getting that knocked down. Can you explain that to the audience?
Well, there was I
love the word you used, draconian.
Right. There was an incident where this is only what I've read and never spoken to, but an unlicensed, untrained bounty hunter that was
first night on the job, had a pistol.
When the defendant pulled a gun and wouldn't drop it, he shot him. Where we've done this for 40 years, I've never, because I was convicted of a felony 40 years ago, have not been able to use a gun. Over 8,000 arrests, but I've used non-lethal weapons. So the guy didn't have the training to have a non-lethal weapon on him. He used his firearm. So Idaho freaked out and said, started passing some laws that were like ridiculous. So we did get involved, and we're working again with them this year. Beth talked to the victim's mother. She's involved. And just in anything, you have to have rules and regulations. And the first time, I've been bounty hunting since 1979. In 2016 and 15, the rules started coming. Back in those days, the early 80s, you didn't have rules. Wanted dead or alive, that's it. So now about bounty hunters, there's 8,500 of them. They bring in over 70% of the fugitives arrested every day. So there has to be rules and regulations. And they do all this with no cost to the taxpayer. You call SWAT out there, God bless them, and they're, if they're out there 8-9 hours, you got to bill at $200,000. So that helicopter is expensive. But, you got to be trained. You have to be certified, regulated. That's just how it is because it's such a professional job, bounty hunting.
Well, and additionally, what that bill did was that took away the ability for bail agents who perhaps live in California and Nevada, Colorado, Montana, all the bordering states, basically. It took away their right to basically come in and grab their fugitives. And it also took away their authority to wear a badge, and it also took away their, a lot of things that create legitimacy. If you see someone crawling through your backyard, they better have a badge around their neck, or, in the state of Idaho, I'm sorry, you too could be, the next slab of meat, because they don't mess around there. people there have guns. They like their guns in Idaho, and they don't want any regulation that's going to take that away from them. So when you start taking away the legitimacy of a profession like, bail enforcement or bounty hunting, it becomes very serious. And, unfortunately, someone made some bad decisions when they went out and they took someone who was not licensed and was not trained and who had not been exposed to that kind of, serious type of drama. The guy did have some mental illness, and, it went down the way it did. But the mother, was calling for all out. She didn't want any more bounty hunters. She didn't want anybody to be able to wear a badge. She didn't want them to be able to show a mugshot. All of which those things don't make sense. They just don't make sense in this day and age. We have to be able to catch our quarry, and we have to be able to do it, with the minimum amount of risk to the public. And, if showing photos and showing your badge gets you to that fugitive, then God bless you. Do your job and do your thing.
I got a question from the chat room before I go further. American Vixen has a question, says, are they ever coming to Rhode Island this year or next year?
We're getting very close to Rhode Island. We're in Delaware. We're in Maryland, New Jersey, Connecticut. We're very, very close. I wouldn't see why we would not make a stop there.
I have another one from Susan Geyer. She says, what do you think what California wants to do for their state? Not sure.
About what is she talking?
I think California wants to run its city right off into the ocean.
Yeah, you think so, don't you? I mean, the way
they want to take a chisel and they want to chisel out the little, off of the map, and they want to be ye separate because they've got some really wackadoodle, freaking liberal, democratic craziness going on in California. And all of the problems that my industry is facing right now have stemmed from California movements. Congressman Ted Lieu and others there who have a very liberal stance on crime. They think that people are in jail because they're poor, when clearly people are in jail because they've broken the law. And at some point, I don't know when, we skewed off the map, but suddenly all the bail agents and bounty hunters and people who have been doing this service for hundreds of years suddenly just became the enemy because we do a job, honestly, that no one else wants. There isn't anybody who wants to go into these back streets and into these backwoods and, creeping around trailer houses and going into homes. And, those are not jobs that are, actively sought out. They just, they don't have that many people with that kind of demand. But, the thing about it is that you cannot replace personal service with an algorithm.
Right.
Right. There's this whole movement there in California where they want to go to algorithms, and they want to know that if a person, is not likely to reoffend, then they want to let them out for free with no repercussion and no deterrent, which, that works for the first-time offender, but that does not work for an offender who has been a repeat offender, someone who has serious drug addictions. It is not rational to think that people who have, those types of addictions are just going to take your free bond and then go home and not do anything. Typically a guy that has some type of drug addiction will commit somewhere between 3 to 5 felonies a day, at least 5 or 6 misdemeanors. I mean, if you break it down, usually they're driving a car with no registration, with no license plate, and probably with no license,
Lord,
to go to the methadone clinic where they pick up their dose, where then they feel better. So then they're able to go to the Walmart where they then steal 6 to 8 cartons of cigarettes. Then they take those to downtown, into Chinatown or Koreatown, where they know that they can get $10 for each carton that they have. And then after that, after they've fenced those stolen goods, then they go out and they buy more drugs. Probably they sell those drugs, keep some from themselves, and basically they break even for the day. But let's say that they get busted for all of those minor crimes.
Right.
We give them 6 or 8 PR bonds in one day. What happens the following day when they wake up again?
Jeez.
Do we give them 6 or 8 more PR bonds? Do we give them another 10 bonds the next day? When they fail to appear on 5 or 6 of those 10 bonds, do we give them another free bond? I mean, look, everybody, especially Dog and I, We are the champions of second chances. We give a second, a third, a fourth, a fifth, a 10th, 25th chance. Anybody who really is actively seeking a second chance, we want to give them that second chance because we've walked in those shoes.
Right.
You know, we've been there. We've been at the depths of the absolute darkness, of the gutters where they've been. And we worked our way back up from there.
Right.
And that's why there's so much allure to our ministry, because our ministry takes place in a back seat of a car,
right,
where we're having that come to Jesus moment with them, and they basically say, I just can't shake the addiction.
Right.
They're not robbing because of no reason. They're robbing because they have an addiction. They're stealing because they have an addiction. They're breaking into your house because they have an addiction. They're stealing your credit cards and going through your trash cans because they have an addiction. For us to just slap them on the wrist, run them through a revolving door at the jail, taking their photograph, taking their fingerprints, and then sending them right back out the door, there is nothing going to come from that. Nothing but high tax property rates, nothing more than high insurance rates, nothing more than the price of crime is going through the roof because the bleeding heart liberals in California want to say you're in jail because you're poor. You're not in jail because you're poor. You're in jail because you broke the dang law.
right.
And at some point, you have to be held accountable for your actions. That's where we come in.
Hey, Doug, let me ask you, someone in the chat room said, explain jurisdiction and how it does not apply to bounty hunters.
So each police officer has his own jurisdiction, which is usually his county. So if a police officer is chasing a guy from county to county, he's got to pass it off to that whatever county he enters enforcement. A bounty hunter may cross lines, county lines, may cross state lines, and may arrest on the Sabbath. We can go anywhere at any time and effectuate an arrest. Now, federal marshals can do the same. A federal marshal can go in a church. He can go in a Native American reservation. Federal marshals and game wardens have more authority than bounty hunters.
Wow.
Now, Beth, I want to get back to you for a second. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, you just heard she had a vast knowledge of this entire industry. I want to ask you, or I would like you to tell the audience, back in 2013, I don't know how long the term is, but you were elected to a national office back in 2013. Can you explain to the office or the audience what that was exactly?
Yes, I was nominated and elected as the president of the Professional Bail Agents of the United States Association. We represent 15,000 bail agents nationally and about 8,500 bounty hunters nationwide. You know, this is an association that serves the public, has served the public for, 100 years, and basically has full accountability for the people that they take out of jail. You know, we go down to the jail, we interview people, and we take them out. We guarantee their appearance, and if we can't guarantee their appearance, then we have a fiduciary responsibility to the court to pay that full amount of that bond. So if it's a $10,000 bond and the guy absconds, I've got 30, 60, 90 days in some states to be able to bring that person back to the jurisdiction of the court. And if I'm unable to do that, then I have to pay the full $10,000 to the general fund of the public fund, which, as you know, is your city streets, is your, snow removal, it's your trash removal, it's programs into your education. I mean, that fund basically takes care of all the needs of the state. So, we've had a very good relationship. It is only recently that we've come across this massive bail reform. It was out of the Obama administration, where they just started, mass release for people that they felt were minor crimes. I mean, look, sometimes you may be in jail for shoplifting, but that doesn't mean you're not a killer.
Right.
Just because you didn't kill someone doesn't mean you're capable of not killing them. And if, we were able to somehow capture you on a shoplifting case, we have now put our entire communities at jeopardy, which, if you've been following the news up in New Jersey, we had a mayor up there who posted on his Facebook that he just couldn't sleep at night because his administration had let go a sex offender charged with a sexual assault on a minor. But under the new bail reform statute that Chris Christie signed into office last year, They were unable to hold him. And so now we're being faced with this as a community, and not only in New Jersey, but also in California after they passed Prop 57. There are other states that, see this wave of jail reform coming through, and they see a way to be able to, reduce their costs. But quite honestly, they're increasing their costs because the cost of pretrial release far exceeds the private sector who does it at no cost to the taxpayer. There are people who are in jail that are lingering around. People who've never been in trouble before, by all means, they should get their first bond. We should give them the benefit of the doubt. They're productive, viable people in society. We should listen to them. But then you've got the repeat offender who basically does this every day for a living. And look, we as a society did this. We did this to ourselves. We made it so difficult for people who have been convicted of felonies to be able to go to jail, do their time, get out, and then become productive. We haven't given them a chance to get an apartment, a good job. We didn't let him vote, for crying out loud, for the longest of time. Dog here barely got to vote for the first time in this election because his felony is now 40 years old. But we live in a state where they choose to allow felons who have, far exceeded, their sentencing date to be able to still vote. But this is our country where you're supposed to be able to get your second chance. You go to jail, you do your time, you get back out, and you become a viable part of society. But society shut those people down. And so we created this. We've created this because we've been unforgiving as a nation. We've been unable to forgive people who have drug addictions or to be able to be understanding to what those drug addictions are. And additionally, while we're speaking about California, they're suffering the consequences of their 3 strikes and they're outlaw. They put far too many people in jail with way too high a penalty for things that were minor in those days. And now that, marijuana has been basically decriminalized, we have a lot of people that are still languishing in jail for marijuana crimes. But those are prison reform actions that need to be taken, not post-conviction. And we're talking about releasing massive amounts of people onto the streets. And let me just give you, for instance, at the inauguration, there were 219 people arrested for, this is my own words, viciously rioting and protesting.
Right.
And when I say viciously, I mean viciously.
Oh, they went
on
hard.
The streets in Washington.
Yeah.
I was there.
Yeah.
I could see from my window people bashing in the Starbucks, throwing Molotov cocktails into a limousine of just an entrepreneur, just a guy who bought a limousine service and was trying to make a living.
Right.
But that Cadillac limousine, that cost him somewhere in the neighborhood of $235,000.
Right.
219 people were released.
Quick.
219 people were arrested. 217 were released on PR bonds. Those are your own recognizance. That means they went in, got their picture taken, a little slap on the wrist, and they were returned to the riot without interruption.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Ladies and gentlemen.
What are we doing?
Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to the Wayne Dupree Show. I have on Dwayne Dog, the Bounty Hunter Chapman, and his beautiful wife, Beth Chapman. We have them here along with my co-host, Mr. Hutch Bailey Jr. Before I let you go, because believe me, we're coming up on that time, but I want to have you back again because there's so many questions that are coming in. Actually, let me ask you this question. Do you want to see more police on the streets?
I want to see more police on the streets. Absolutely. We used to double up, they call it. And they're starting to double up now. There has been, in the last couple of weeks, police quit being slaughtered.
Right.
I believe that Donald Trump, I lived in Chicago. I was there 3 weeks ago with Beth. I wouldn't let her go outside at night.
Right.
9 killings a day. If the police have lost control, they need the National Guard. Sometimes when I'm out there with the family, we got a guy surrounded in the house. I can't get him. He's got a gun. He's shooting. I call Big Brother, the police, when I need help. They need help in Chicago. Yes, we need more police officers. and we need them more trained. You know, if you go, say, to, let's call it the ghetto, they're not going to act like the guys do in, you know, the middle class areas. You pull a guy over from the ghetto, he's going to start calling you an MF or pig and blah, 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 blah.
Right.
Yeah, he made that turn signal because he remembers pushing the handle down, but he doesn't realize his taillights burn out. But he's going to call you everything there is. We need those cops trained to realize, hey, it's two different groups of people. They're not, you know, a lot of these people aren't in the Mormon choir.
Right,
You're going to have to put up with some of their bad language. And if they got their hand in their pockets, you don't shoot them. You can tase them. You can pepperball them. You can do a lot of things before you end their life. If we have more cops, we have to have more intensive training.
But we also have to empower our police officers. And right now, you know, morale is low with our police forces all across the country. They're being disrespected. They're being called names. You know, we have a mayor, you know, a couple of towns over calling them pigs. You know, I mean, that cannot be what our America stands for. We have got to restore law and order to our country. And, you know, we are going through some tough times, but, you know, look, even with a toddler or a child, it goes all the way back to biblical days, Wayne. I know you're a Christian. Spare the rod, you spoil
That's
the child.
right. Hey. I grew up under that rule, and look, I'm fine. I'm fine.
Exactly. We have two spoiled children out in our street right now, rioting and picketing for really no apparent reason. I stopped a woman during the women's protest and basically asked her, what rights do you think we're going to be deprived of?
Right.
And she really couldn't tell me.
They can't tell you.
I spent 25 minutes with her, and she just was full of like misinformation and fake news, and
it's the
you
stuff,
know, it was crazy.
It's the stuff that they hear on TV.
We need some incentives for marriage. We need more fathers in the house. That's the problem. One of the main problems.
That's correct. That is a very astute observation. We really do need that. We need dads to step up and stay with their families because we need them to be the spiritual leaders of their households, and we need them to be the guy. You know, I mean, look, we all know it's hard to make ends meet. It really is. I mean, look, even though for people, you know, Wayne, you got a nice radio show and we had a nice TV show. But look, times are tough all over the world.
Yep.
People are desperate, and they're feeling the desperation of the times. And I just want to tell all your listeners and all our listeners that they got to anchor on God, because that is the leader. We are following him. We are only passengers in the car. Our lives are all predestined to be what they're going to be. And right now, we have to be the best citizens that we can be. Right. And we've got a great president. You know, look, it's been a rocky couple of weeks, but I think he's going to get better. I think he's going to get a lot better. I think that people will get a lot more secure with him when they realize that he is only tightening security for our country, and he has only Americans, you know, at the forefront of his brain.
If you had a chance, because sometime members of the Trump campaign might call up here on the show. If you had one thing that you wanted them to do, what would that be?
Call us. We're crime fighters.
Very good.
I mean, I think that. What would you let Beth say here?
I would have to say get tough on crime.
Right.
Get tough on crime. Our urban terrorists are causing us more problems than international terrorists right now.
Right.
Man, I love you guys.
I do too. I mean, I'm so glad that you followed me, and I'm so glad that we were able to strike up a conversation because, again, your faith is what drew me to you when I watched you. And I mean, and I know that it's tough out there. I know it's tough for y'all. And I know that every day is not cute, every day is not pretty, but but knowing that God is leading your life and that God is that you're following His direction, I mean that there's nothing more. There's nothing more that I could ask except for you keep on doing what you're doing, how you're doing it, keep on putting God first, and I mean everything that He has for you will come to you. Everything.
And come back on the show.
That's right. We will come back on the show. And listen, thank you, Wayne, because I know that it's been a hard road for you to be a Trump supporter, and you've taken a lot of bashing. But you know, listen, brother, you know when it's good and the message is right, you'll be rewarded. And I just have to tell you, there are a lot more people with you than against you.
Thank you,
So,
Hey, Beth.
let's circle back and talk again.
How can people support your organization?
Well, our organization is the Professional Bail Agents of the United States. They can go to our website at pbus.com, and they can write their congressman, and they can oppose House Bill 4611. There's a button there that they can click on. Additionally, we are on the committee to draft Sheriff David Clark into Congress. So we would love for people to support Sheriff David Clark to come into Congress, because we need strong law and order, as you know, as our lawmakers. So, the preservation of bail is very, very important to us. Obviously, it's been our vehicle to be able to be in this ministry all across the country, and to be able to talk with people, and to go into their homes, and to be able to help them. And so we would like to see the preservation of bail, obviously. And so pbus.com, you can donate money, you can write to your congressman, you can just be part of our movement and give us your email address, and we'll keep you informed. And just let us be a blessing to you. Sign on to our website, and let's stay in touch.
Is Dog still around?
Yep.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to
happy
you.
birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Thanks,
Hey,
man.
dog, you got a lot of things going on too. An online store and some counseling sessions and whatnot.
Yes, sir. I'm doing hypnosis now on drug addicts.
Stop it. He is not.
Listen, I'm going to... no.
He wants to give him the true serum next.
My friend from Hawaii 5-0 called me today and said, I said, where were you yesterday? Because I'm hypnotized because I'm smoking. I'm like, wait a minute. Let me try that on my heroin addict friend. I think that might work. So a bunch of rehab we're doing right now where, you can't just, as Beth was saying, slap in their hands or their okole and let them go. You got to love them. You got to teach them.
Yeah.
They haven't been taught. Like you said, there's not enough dads.
Shaka.
I'm going to try to be Mr. Green Jeans, a dad to everybody.
There you go.
And that's my goal. I'm really teaching these guys. Our success rate is 85% right now, because we're showing them love and fear, and we're showing them what it feels and feels like to do a good thing. Once they start doing a good thing, it becomes a habit. So I'm into right now a bunch of rehab. It just is.
And that's why the private counseling sessions are being offered on his website, because while I am being the president of the Professional Bail Agents of the United States and taking up their cause nationally, against pretrial release, my husband has more time on his hands to be able to spend with one-on-one counseling to a lot of these guys who are just really trying to get well. And a lot of these guys don't want...
Oh, we lose them.
Did we lose him? They're still on the line. Oh, just lost him. Okay. Well,
Great interview. Wow.
Yeah, let me
Beth and Dog, the Bounty Hunter Chapman.
see if I can bring it back just for a few seconds so she can finish what she was talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you enjoyed that. I know I enjoyed it, and I know Hutch.
I did. That was different. I liked that a lot.
There we go. We lost you guys.
There you go. All right.
Guy.
There you go. Hey, again, I want to thank you for everything that y'all do, and I want everybody to follow y'all on Twitter, because y'all have a message. And I know you have a message on TV, but you also have a message on Twitter, and a whole lot of people might not know just how great your message is right now. So give out your Twitter accounts so that people can follow you real quick.
At Dog Bounty Hunter is Dog, and at Mrs. Dog C is me.
There we go. Well, I am sending you virtual hugs, both of you.
We're very active on our Twitter account.
Oh, yeah, you are.
We pay attention to people. We try to talk to people. People see me back talking, and they're like, "This can't be Beth." Believe it, it is.
Hey, when you see Berg's Eye View, that's me, because you'd never know it otherwise. Berg's Eye View, I'm coming your way.
Right on, brother. I'm following you.
All right, I'm giving you virtual hugs. Thank you so much. Again,
Thank you guys.
Bridget and Joe say hello, and they're also hugging you all the way from Alabama. God bless both of you.
Listen, brother. God bless
God
you.
bless you guys.
It's
Aloha.
one of our privileges to be with you guys. Thank you. You were the ones that you're high mucka mucka, bro.
Shaka, bruh.
Thanking you.
Shaka, bra.
Shaka, bruh.
Shaka bra. Aloha, Wayne.
Aloha.
Aloha, Bertha.
Aloha.
Thanks, guys.
Woo! There we go.
That was a good one.
That was beautiful, people. See, we bring people. Well, I mean, I'm not gonna say we brought them in off the street, but we bring people that are making a difference, so that y'all can know. Because what you see on TV, they also have personal lives, but Beth and Doug are using their personal lives to continue to help people off the street. So, that's good stuff right there.
Absolutely. And Wayne gives me at least 24 hours notice that they're coming on here so I can be prepared.
I did, didn't I? You know why?
I'm good at it, though. It don't matter.
You know why? Because I don't buy a Spreaker listen.
I knew you were going to say that halfway through. But, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if it's going to be set for tomorrow, but guaranteed for next week. Camera is in, and it's charged. All I got to do, I'm waiting for one more piece in the mail. If that comes tomorrow, might have a surprise tomorrow. If not, Monday for sure.
We are doing the upgrade. We're still working on some stuff. We're still working on things, but I hope that you can see the fruits of what you have given us, and I hope that you're proud at the way things are. Don't forget, if you missed this show tonight, in about 2 hours, you'll be able to listen to it out there on the West Coast at 8:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can download TuneIn, iHeartRadio, iTunes, Stitcher. You can watch us on. You can listen to the show on Roku, Apple TV. Just look for CRN Talk. Okay, CRN Talk, Digital Talk Media, and we're on Channel 1. We're on Channel 1, but you can also watch the replay on Right Side Broadcasting Network too. They have all of the broadcasts of the Wayne Dupree Show since June, and you can go back and see how raw we were at the beginning to where we are right now. So,
get ready to enter another chapter here pretty soon.
And I want everybody everybody on Spreaker, I want you to know that we love you. We love people on Spreaker, Right Side Broadcasting Network. We love you all. You do a fabulous job. Tomorrow night, we're going to have a young man that is possibly going to take down Kerosene Maxine Waters. We're going to have him on the show, and we're going to let you ask him some questions, okay? It won't be long, but we're going to let you ask him some questions. And if he's bona fide, if he's good stuff, then you're going to need to start sharing him on Twitter and Facebook as a viable solution to Maxine Waters, because she got to go, man. She got to go. And I'm going to keep talking about it as long as I can. How can people reach out to you on social media?
Hey, SteelCityResistance.blogspot.com. I'm Hutch Bailey Jr. on Facebook. Berg's iView on Twitter. Thanks, everyone.
That's right. No email. I promise. Tomorrow night, we will start off the show with email reads. I promise. I printed out more today. But that's okay, because we had Dog and Beth on. So I promise we'll have them on. I promise we will do the email reads tomorrow night. Micah, take us out. God bless you. Y'all have a great night, and we'll be talking to you in a little bit.